Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the IBB, the Tesla, Apple, and Nvda. We're going to follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames, and we use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. So let's get right into the IBB daily, and don't forget to sign up for my free membership at StockBookie.com for all the videos like this. We're doing live streaming action, trade alerts, some educational stuff, and some other fun stuff we'll be doing in the near future. So. All right, let's get right to the daily chart. We talked about this one earlier today in our live session, but it came back down to 294.52. That's where it pretty much held. Let's come in here and do a little bit tighter. Let's go from this tail bottom to up in this area here. So we're right into the 250 retrace. I'm thinking if it does pull back, I think we're going to go right back here down into 289.70. And then we're going to stair step down the Fibonacci levels. And of course you have your 200 MA. You do have these couple trend lines here that it was in this channel that it broke up off of. But again, every time it gets back into this 300, it has a tendency to pull back, and that's exactly what it's doing. If the markets do pull back, this will go a heck of a lot lower. So just like kind of how it went up is how it's going to come down. So IBB, if you're long, tighten up the stops. If you're short with us from the 300 area, then let's try to enjoy the ride, and let's get back into this area here. Then we'll have this big trend line to contend with the support, with the 200 moving average, with everything else. This is the big one right here. So if we get into this area, unless the markets are breaking down, this should bounce somewhere in here, especially if we go straight down into it, should get a good bounce, and then the next wave down. So be careful longs, tighten up those stops, and if you're long, you want this thing in reverse, go right back up, fill the gap right up here. Shoot for that 300, and where did it go to? 300 and 303.74. Let's see if we could get above that, and then possibly, maybe 305, then 310, stuff like that. So, but one step at a time on these, on the charts. So right now we had a nice pullback, so I'm suspecting that we're going to go down, maybe chop around in a sideways action, then the next leg down. But let's see what happens with that. That's the IBB. Let's go into Tesla. Tesla on the daily, I believe it's setting up in a bearish manner. We had a nice pivot high here, came right back in, sideways for about 7 days above the 50 MA. On the daily chart, we're still holding this 247.11 area. That was resistance at one time. That's a little bit of support. See how it came up, then it came down, consolidated on that level, and then took off. So that's going to be some support right down in here, as well as the 50 retrace and the 50 MA. So you have to respect that area. So, but bearish manner here, slightly bullish, but more on the bear side. If this pattern starts to play out, I think we'll get the double bottom, fill this gap around 238.51, and then if the markets go, we're easily going to 218, 211, and then I say we come right down here back into this 185, 190 area. Still have 200, the even number, the 200 MA up here, but one step at a time. But this is telling me for lower prices. If it does for some reason retrace back up, I'd watch gap window, gap fill, and see if we could get back up into this 281 to 87.39 area. Then we'll take it from there. But this pattern is telling me a little bit lower, unless they get some news or something like that. So keep an eye on the news, because you know how this how this guy works with Tesla. He'll tweet something. He's like Donald Trump. So all right, let's go to Apple. Apple just, nothing wrong above the MAs, just chugging along, had earnings, and pretty much just floated for weeks. Anybody who bought puts up here just getting demolished. And now if they did it up here too, they're getting demolished again. So let's see if this bullish pattern starts to play out to the upside. I'd say, maybe by Friday, maybe Monday, if it does play out, if you're on the bull side, it needs to get above the 140.28 and then shoot for the 142.50, then maybe 145. And if it continues up, possibly 150. It's really depending on the markets and how they're reacting in the next couple of weeks. So markets go down, this should go down. Markets stay buoyant, then this might start, keep grinding up. We'll see. So that's the daily on the Apple. And again, we're above the MAs. Nothing really wrong. It's going a little bit bullish right here, but let's see. Let's give it till Friday. 7 days of consolidation, maybe 10 days, maybe 14 days, stuff like that. You start getting bullish consolidation with the 20 MA moving up in the price. You would expect this thing to shoot up. And if it doesn't, the failed pattern will probably lead us down to gap window, gap fill, and then, ultimately the 200 MA if you're bearish. And if you're bearish, you need to get, fill the gap, get below the 20 MA, come down here, maybe bounce, maybe set up sideways here, and then maybe the next leg down for gap fill. And 200 will be curling up and stuff like that. So But yeah, nothing wrong with these charts. You know, if the SPY looks a little bit weak, you know, it's coming in a little. It did fill a gap today or yesterday. We have a gap to fill on the SPY a little bit lower, but as long as the SPY and everything stays buoyant, the Qs, the DIA, the IWM, there's these markets are fine. You know, when if those start breaking down, then you got to start looking at stuff, especially the high flyers. Let's go into Nvidia. And Nvidia, same thing. You know what? We came back in, retraced to the high here, and boom, right back down. Tried to retrace, came back in. We did break this low here, but it did try to recapture it. Almost did. But you know, coming down this way now, we're in the 250 retrace. We are back below the moving averages. Let's see if we can retrace back to here. If it does, then maybe comes up one more time, and then possibly the next move. If this pattern starts to play out and just go sideways, they expect the 20 to curl into price and possibly push it down. I still think we're coming right here, gap window, then fill in the gap right here around 67 bucks. That's my opinion though. You know, I still think we could get down there, and if this, you know, a little bit bearish pattern starts to go, then I think we could get into that area. The reason why, you know, you short this trade, I mean, look at this chart. It's just so extended. And see how slow? It's a monthly chart, guys. Monthly chart plays take months to play out. Sometimes they come in real quick and furious. But this, you know, so this is a new month. All of a sudden we're down here, clicks over. Then the next month we're down in here, clicks over. Next month, this 20 MA will curl up. So we're going to see where this price starts to come in. But honestly, you know, 80 bucks, 85 bucks, I think this thing could get there easily. And then I'd say 73. Actually, looking at this one, 72 bucks, 72.44 is not bad either. So just be careful. If you're long in Nvidia and you were taking profits up here at 120, man, one more retrace if it goes back up, please. Unless the markets are shooting up, you know, then this thing will go higher. But if the markets are bombing and this is trying to claw its way out, eventually it's going to find its way down lower. So just be careful. That's all I'm saying, especially with these high flyers. If you stuck around in this video, you know, look at, oh, that was a high flyer. Look at that, away from the 50 or the 200 MA, gets high flying, then right back in. I always punch up this one too, Skyworks. Another high flyer. Look at that, straight up and straight back down. You look at, I don't know if Acacia was one. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have the 200, but look at that, straight up, it's got to come back down. You know, even if you look at GoPro, it starts getting extended from the 200 MA. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And it comes down, retraces, comes back down, setting up to go lower. Where did this close? 793. My gosh. You know, but there's so many charts like this, guys. You got to watch for these high flyer plays. And, you know, if you're not short a couple of these stocks like JPM, Goldman Sachs, Netflix, Amazon, Google, Facebook, all those, get short. You can look back at this video and laugh, because if these markets come in, they are going to come in fast and furious. All right, guys, again, thanks for coming to my videos. I really do appreciate it. And if you don't come to, you know, if you don't watch my other ones, let me show you one more thing if you stuck around. This is the SPY chart. .com boom, housing boom. What do you think's going to happen here? Boom. Look at this run here. We ran up. Oh my gosh, this just blows me away, guys. Just beware, because we can easily come back down to 156.86. You know, and then you got the 200 MA down here, which it hasn't touched for a long time. That even scares me more. But the longer it stays up, this will curl up. So I'm still thinking double top here if this thing does correct and we get a nice bear market. So, and then again, we come into great support. We'll be buying long for the next, you know, bull run. So, bull or bear, don't care. Just want to be on the right side of the trade, guys. Again, go to my website, sign up for my free membership, StockBookie.com, for all our stuff with the videos and whatever else comes with it. So it's been a long day, guys. We did a 3-hour live session today. It was great. We're finding trades out there. Come join us, sign up, you get the emails and all that good stuff. Again, thanks for watching my videos. God bless. See you on the charts.